Hannibal, Johnny Evans, Bruno Fernandes, Andre Onana. Who was your best performer for Manchester United in that much-needed victory against Burnley at the Turf Moor? The player ratings should be out. I will give you mine today in just a heartbeat. But subscribe to the hotspot, guys. We are on the road to 5k, and I thank you everyone who has subscribed to this channel as we do keep growing this community of Manchester United supporters. Now, what better time than this to talk about this beloved club after us getting an all important victory at a tough, that is the Turf Moor, the home of Burnley. Now, United did beat Burnley by a goal to nil, but obviously this was way far away from how we would have loved to beat a small team like Burnley, a newcomer, because they dominated possession. I think it was 60-38 for Burnley. They had more accurate passes. I think they had 100 more accurate passes than us. They had more shots on goal. They had more corners in the game. But the most important stat in a football game are the goals. And guess what? Captain Bruno led by example, a beauty of a volley to ensure that Manchester United took all the 3 points away and climbed to 8th position on the pile 6 games into the season. Now, that's not where I would have loved to be, but it is somewhere that perhaps can thrust us to greater heights, because our season might turn around. If there is one club that needed a victory this weekend, it was Manchester United, and indeed a victory is what we got. Now, never mind the fashion in the Premier League. There are no easy games. However much you try and play so well, if you don't win the game, it doesn't matter, because the Premier League is just brutal like that. Now, let's be brutally honest about our players and how they performed. First of all, for me, the best player for Manchester United could have been Johnny Evans. I think he was brilliant. His first start since 2015 for Manchester United was a brilliant one. He even had a goal cancelled or disallowed because of offside. But I think Evans, like the boss spoke about him after the game, Eric Ten Hag, he's an organizer, calm and composed, and that is what you expect from an experienced player, a player who has a lot of experience. So for me, I think I would give him a cool 7.5 out of 10. That is Johnny Evans. I would give him a cool 7.5, because if it hadn't been for his organization in that backline, I'm sure we could have considered a goal or two from all the runs that Burnley were making at our goal. So I thought 7.5 out of 10 is decent enough. I would give him an 8 if that goal had counted, but 7.5 is good enough. Second for me, in terms of our top performers, was Hannibal Mejbri. I thought his energy from start to the end, he played 90 minutes of the game, but his energy was enviable. It was one that everyone else had to borrow from. He's only 20. He's obviously the youngest person in that midfield. He's energetic, but they were drawing. Casemiro, Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, who was pushed on the right, were all drawing from this boy's energy. I feel even the goal he scored, the consolation, in that game, I think it was it against Arsenal when he came off the bench and scored. I thought personally he was energized. I mean, his confidence is back. His confidence is back. I think it was against Burnley that he scored. So I think I would give him also a cool 7 point. Okay, slightly less, slightly below Johnny Evans. I would give him a 7. I would give him a cool 7 out of 10. That is Hannibal. I thought he had a good game for us, and he can be an important player, like Ten Hag says, for us. His energy, that has been lacking, but also his energy and work rate brings organization in the whole midfield. And for me, that's why we're lacking. The goals we've been conceding were coming through the middle of the park, because central holding midfielders were never, closing gaps. They were creating spaces for opponents to shoot. I thought with Hannibal and his press that was not relentless, it made it difficult for those pinholes to be created through the central axis. And for me, that is impeccable. That's order and organization. Andre Onana, I would give him a 6. I thought he made some important saves in the game, not as many as he did in the second half against Bayern Munich. Obviously, Bayern was all over him like a body rush. So I'll give him a cooler 6 out of 10. I thought he was decent. Who else performed for me? Marcus Rashford is always having those good runs. I'm still not happy with his final ball, his final decision I'm making. I think it has got to improve. I'll still give him Rashford's a 5.5. I'll give Rashford a 5.5. I think he can do a lot more than just making a good run and promising to do something magical and then he doesn't. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Bruno Fernandes, he scored our goal. He was not so much all over because again, when he plays on the right, I feel he gets less time on the ball. But that volley, the beauty, I would give him a 6.5 or 7. How much? How would you rate Bruno's performance? I'm torn. 6.5 or 7 or thereabout for Bruno. Then we also know that Mason Mount, Eric Ten Hag confirmed he should be back in the next game. By the way, we do play against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Mount might be back. Most probably he will be the one pushed to the right. Hannibal, I wonder whether Eric Ten Hag is now choosing to trust all these young players, and because Hannibal has thrown in a ring for himself to be actually starting games ahead of some of these guys who are on big paychecks or wages, but never delivering. So I don't know what will happen when Mason Mount returns because there's Bruno Fernandes, Hannibal has thrown in the ring, Mason Mount is back. Who then is going to be playing where? But Ten Hag said he hasn't got the chance to play his preferred first 11. It's good we are beginning to see them return. Rafael Varane came back from injury. I thought his introduction again brought some bit of more order because of his experience. Then Amrabat comes in for 4 minutes, gets his debut, of course, to feel the game a bit, not so much to dig into his performance. I feel if Amrabat returns, Martinez Licha, he has got a foot injury. He was not available for the game, but there is hope that he could be there for that game against Crystal Palace. So I want to see the full complete package. I'm envisioning a United with Martinez and Varane in the back. You get Sergio Reguilon on the left. He's making us not miss Luke Shaw at all. I would give Sergio Reguilon a 7 in that game. I think always exciting to watch. His work rate is enviable. So Reguilon on the left and Diogo Dalot. I think if Wan Bissaka comes, I think Bissaka will gives us more going forward. I think he will make the right wing a little more exciting. Try to get the balance on the right and the left wing. For now, the left wing is what looks more exciting, but that balance will come. So you have your Bissaka on the right, and I'm sure this should be the preferred starting 11 for Ten Hag. In the middle, have Casemiro play alongside Sofian Amrabat, Bruno Fernandes playing behind Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford on the left, on the right, most probably Mason Mount. Most probably Mason Mount. So my feeling is that that squad will look decent, but also the way Hannibal is performing with Garnacho there on the bench, I feel like our depth on the bench is beginning to be realized. I think when all players are fit, we will start realizing the little bit of depth we might be having actually in that squad, because some of these players are actually decent. They are not as bad as they have appeared to be on a few occasions. So I think for me, it was this game was revealing in terms of what capabilities some of these players can have. I think that gives us a bit of hope that United will improve going forward. But guys, let me know who your best performer was. What areas you think need to be improved. I thought Manchester United. I thought whereas we did not dominate Burnley, and it is okay because any week victory in the Premier League